And Lady Marine's probably already given us shit that we're not on time.
Not yet, actually.
Oh, surprising. All right. My mic's not muted, but that's fine. I'm already aware of that. What are we doing? Late to the party. Here we go.
What party? We're party.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Late to the Party News. I'm sure anyone who was sitting here before we started the intro heard all of our backstage banter, but that's all right. That's okay. But it's Monday. We're all here trying desperately to distract ourselves from the election news and updates and all of that fun stuff. As I keep saying at this point, once I filled in the circles, sealed my ballot, and turned it in, I said, you know what? It's in God's hands. I don't even want to know at this point. I just want to go into hibernation until Wednesday morning, and we're gonna see how it goes. So we've got
Blair
some
died.
fun topics. We've got some spicy topics to talk about tonight. But yeah, with us this week, since Roman apparently is too cool for school 2 weeks in a row, we do have Devon Salmon Sticks, our friend from the north, joining us. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
Hello, my friends. I'm doing very well. I'm visiting from Russia.
Yes.
Or the other,
okay.
snow-covered continent.
You guys already getting snow?
Tomorrow. It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is good
Nice.
because I did all the roof stuff today before the snow came.
It's always good. Always good. And then we have our favorite wizard here from the Midwest, Blair to Blair. How are you doing tonight, brother? Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, thank you. It's raining here. We're gonna have rain for the next couple of days, so.
Oh, nice. All right.
I agree with Lady Marine, by the way. Say salmon right, Don. Come on.
We got just like a random little burst of rain on Saturday night, and then that was it, because that's typical San Diego weather. San Diego gets rain. It's like, oh, you're gonna get 5 minutes of rain, just enough to mess up your car if you just washed it, and then we're gonna go back to dry. And perfect. I didn't even really think about this until today, but this past weekend, the Deftones hosted what they call their Dia de los Deftones, Day of the Dead, whatever, festival that they do in San Diego every year. And it rained Saturday night during the festival. And I love the Deftones. I've seen them live many times in my life. I was at the very first year of their Dia de los Deftones festival, but I saw that today and I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. The fact that they had their festival down there at the ballpark where our baseball team plays, and it rained, and I'm like, oh, I would have been so mad if I'd paid all the money to go to the festival to go see the Deftones, and I got rained on at a concert. Hasn't happened to me yet. Because they always say concerts in San Diego, whether they're indoors, outdoors, whatever, they say rain or shine, concerts happening, and knock on wood, I really should just do this, knock on wood. I have yet to go to an outdoor concert that said, we're still going to have the concert, even if it's raining and I get rained on, because it's so rare in San Diego. But I would have been really upset because that show was really expensive. I didn't know any of the other bands on the bill except the Deftones. And we're like, man, paid all this money to be here and I'm getting rained on. That would not have been fun. But yeah. We made it through Monday. Devon, I know you had a little bit of a rough Monday at work, but we're here. Man. We're alive.
I left my soul in that attic. Is what happened.
That's
That was terrible.
Yeah, as we were
I almost
kind of
lost my
talking
thumb.
backstage.
Actually,
Jeez. Yeah, don't do
Man,
that. I don't
I almost
recommend that.
chopped it off. Kind of. It got like jammed in between something, and like I cut the back of it really bad, and it was like one of those cuts that didn't hurt that much, but I knew it was deep, and I'm like, that's not good.
It's those ones where it's like you don't necessarily feel it at first, but then you look down and you see the slice and it's not bleeding yet, and you're like, oh, that's gonna bleed when my heart beats. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I literally jumped down, grabbed like some Teflon and electrical tape,
duct
and
tape.
ran for like the sink. And I'm like, this is gonna be really bad if I don't clean this up right now. So
Yeah, it's really fun, working in the trades and working in an industry where you deal with a lot of sharp things. You figure out the different parts of like your hands and your face and your arms that either bleed a lot or don't bleed that much, and the ones that you need to be like, oh, like I'll throw a band-aid on this, or the ones where it's like I might need to go to the hospital. Like
I definitely could have got
somebody
stitches.
laughs, you laugh, the nurse laughs. That's a good time, and then hopefully you stay conscious.
Pretty much.
Good time. So let's real quick go through the chat. We've got the real Steven TV. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Steven. Thanks for being here, buddy. Apparently, Devon is playing Fortnite while he's also on the stream, but hey,
Not currently, I was.
We've got Lady Marine in the chat. Good to see you as always, Steph. Thanks for being here. And Jacob Ironside, hello to you, sir. Good to see you as well.
Jacob.
Let's see, where is my calendar? So not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow, I am going to be on with Jacob Ironside talking about one of my absolute favorite movies, The Prestige by Christopher Nolan. So definitely tune in for that one next Tuesday, which I'll promote again on Wednesday and next Monday. But because I am at a point where I now have to keep a calendar, I have to keep reminding myself, when is that happening? It's
That is if we make it
to
to that day, if the world doesn't shut
I'm
down.
getting closer to 40. It's hard to remember things. It's but and with us tonight, who is not here, is Roman, who apparently once again is just 2 weeks in a row too cool for school. He might join us later, but we shall see.
Holiday blast.
Sometimes it's like a rainforest over here in North Carolina. Yeah, so San Diego is definitely the exact opposite. We get lots of hot, dry weather, and when we get rain, it's in very short bursts, except in maybe like January, February, where it rains more than we're used to, and then everything floods because the city doesn't actually take care of the roads and the drainage, and it's a whole other situation. But that's fun. That's a government thing at that point.
North Carolina.
They dry out.
Yeah, it's fun. Back in like the beginning of the year, we got all this like extra rain that San Diego wasn't expecting, and like overall it really wasn't that much rain, but just because of the fact that our city does a really crappy job of like maintaining things, stuff flooded, like people's homes flooded, roads flooded, people's cars got ruined. And it's like, hey, if just all this tax that we pay for all this like road tax and DMV tax and everything else, and like it actually went to what it's supposed to be doing, we wouldn't be having this problem. But hey,
and that's why. Sorry, go ahead, Blair.
Yeah, I think you think in the desert it would just like go to suck up all the water because it's so dry, but apparently
you would think so.
Doesn't.
No. So speaking of government, which any of you that are longtime fans of the channel or even recent fans of the channel know that we don't typically get super political around here, and even this one, like we can kind of tiptoe around it and whatever. But Peanut the squirrel, and Fred the raccoon.
Justice for Peanut and Fred.
Yeah, I didn't have room. I'm sorry.
There have been, and I'll see, like maybe I'll like pull them up on Instagram or something. There's been a great many memes.
He is the second coming of Harambe.
where it's like a second coming of justice for Harambe. But like this thing of okay, so on one hand, a lot of people are arguing that okay, maybe this guy was like harboring a wild animal within the city. And don't worry, we're gonna get into this article, we're gonna unpack this whole thing, whatever, fine and dandy, whatever. But they went on a like massive raid and manhunt to go after this guy and after his pet squirrel and after his pet raccoon. And it's like, I don't want a government big enough that has either the time nor the resources to go on a 5-hour manhunt to euthanize a squirrel and a raccoon when we still don't really know a single name that was on the Epstein list.
Yep.
Plus,
Yep.
he's had it for like what,
Among
7
other
years?
7
So, like,
years.
You know, they
Yeah.
could have like come back in a couple of days. It wasn't like I was going to run to Canada or something, or
Right.
head off to the Caribbean with his
Illegal
mad
attack
squirrel.
squirrel.
Yeah, right, really.
And, I think
It was an
this
assault squirrel. That's why
article-
they needed to crack down on it.
And so I
Hashtag
think
ban assault squirrels.
this article that I have pulled up, I think it talks about, again, like we'll get down there and unpack it a little bit, but this guy came from, I think, like from Connecticut, and then actually moved up to upstate New York somewhere and started kind of an animal sanctuary of sorts because he rescued the squirrel, he rescued this raccoon. I'm going to start this animal rescue. And then some Karen reported him about wild animals living in the house, and they took them both, and then they
She
killed
is on
him, and
the
they're
run
testing him for
now.
rabies. But it's like, but if he started an animal sanctuary, does that not give him any leeway to be like, hey, this is a rescue, I was trying to like save these animals? They were claiming they had potential rabies. Well, fine, hold them for
Yeah.
10 days. Rabies, don't off them. Yeah. And I said the
Yeah, I
same
was
thing.
going
It's
to say
like
that,
you
Lady
can't,
Marine.
I was like,
Yeah,
you
they
can't
did
test
not
them for
need to
rabies
kill 'em.
without killing them.
No, apparently they
Wait.
can't. They need brain tissue and spinal tissue to do it.
Yeah,
But-
she
So,
wasn't even there. It was over the. If it's the person they think it is who deleted their social media and stuff, like she doesn't live anywhere near them.
I saw on Twitter, like that Star Wars girl was one of them. I saw a few people on Twitter were like posting pictures of the lady that reported this and were like, make her famous. And I'd have to go back and find it.
Oh yeah, I've seen her picture all over
Peanut
X.
the squirrel who, okay, that's a video. I'm not gonna.
So
Yeah.
a note about Fred
Peanut
the
the
raccoon
squirrel
as
of internet
well.
fame has been euthanized
don't
after
forget
the
Fred.
pet was.
I was going to say
raccoon,
Fred
yes.
was
Don't forget
actually
Fred.
going to be released because he was just being like treated for his wounds and stuff. Apparently, like
And
he
they
was
offed
sick,
him.
and he was
Yeah.
going to be released back into nature, and they just offed him. And I can't believe it.
This
It
is
makes
why
me sad.
government is evil and the government hates you. And yeah.
Yep.
Peanut the squirrel of internet fame has been euthanized after the pet was seized by New York State earlier this week, according to the Department of Environmental Conservation. The 7-year-old gray rescue squirrel, commonly referred to Peanut of Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, was put to death along with Fred the raccoon so that the animals could be tested for rabies, according to a statement from the agency obtained by the WETM. And I mean,
Because-
look at that. Look at that.
He's so cute.
He's wearing his little
And they
cowboy
tested him.
hat. Like,
Because one of the agents got bit. Well, if you hadn't
Yeah.
put your hands on it, dumbass.
yeah.
Well,
No,
even
you wou-
still,
and-
like I
and-
doubt he was aggressive. Someone was probably being a ding
No,
dong.
and that's in here too. Peanut's guardian Mark Longo took to Instagram to memorialize his beloved pet in a video. Through tears, Longo, with his girlfriend at his side, said Peanut was the best thing that happened to us. Look at it. Just look at it. Just look at him. Just
He's so
hanging out with
cute.
a little baseball cap. And yeah, he had him for 7 years, so he's very well domesticated by that point.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my best friend. Thank you for the best 7 years of my life. Thank you for bringing so much joy to us and the world, because he was an internet sensation. I'm sorry I failed you, but thank you for everything, Longo wrote in a caption to the post announcing Peanut's death. Longo also asked fans for financial help for a legal battle and for his nonprofit Peanuts Freedom Farm. We're going to get into that in just a minute too.
So
DEC
squirrels
claims
live
that
5 to 10 years in the wild. He's
5 to
7.
10 years. Interesting. So this one he
So
got
Yeah, they
7.
live
Okay.
probably longer in captivity.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if he
I
had been
would
a
assume.
wild squirrel,
So-
he'd probably be dead by now. But no.
Oh, 100%.
Obviously, he was so
Absolutely. I mean,
endangered.
nature's wild.
You know.
Yeah. So
How
the
much money do you
DEC
think they
claims
spent on this?
that Peanut was notably docile and friendly over the course of his
Wow.
very public-facing life, bit one of the investigators on the hand while being confiscated from his Elmira home on Wednesday. And like you said, too, it's like, well, yeah, if you're being confiscated, you're being grabbed and you're being manhandled. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're
no,
being
it's like
stressed out.
this guy had this squirrel for 7 years. It said that he was notably docile and friendly, but when you come in and just like grab him, it's like, yeah, this squirrel's gonna freak out and bite you. Like,
Yep.
look at him with his little waffle. In addition, a person involved with the investigation was bitten by the squirrel to test for rabies. Both animals were euthanized. The animals are being tested for rabies, and anyone who's been in contact with these animals is strongly encouraged to consult their physician. And DEC statement read. So again, this guy had, I don't know how long he had the raccoon, but he had the squirrel for 7 years. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if this thing had rabies, he would have known by now, because it would have bit him and then he would have started acting weird. And like, anyone that's been in contact, like, get out of here.
They're just throwing that out there to make it look like, oh, we're just being safe. You know, you're not. Shut up.
Oh,
None of this
yeah.
has anything to do with safety.
Peanut was rescued by Longo after the Connecticut native witnessed the animal's mother hit by a car. The resilient and adorable Peanut inspired Longo to move upstate New York last year and found Peanut's Freedom Farm, an animal sanctuary and rescue operation. So what I want to know there, if he founded this like animal sanctuary, what freaking Karen reported him and was like, there's wild animals living in the house. Like, well, he set himself up as an animal sanctuary, so why can he not have these animals that need rescuing? We saw that one. All they have to do with potential rabies is hold an animal. Squirrels don't really even get rabies. They are like opossums, and it's rare. Interesting. That was probably Peanut's whole world. The only thing he only knew. Yeah. Like you said, the part about like, he saw, okay, like Peanut's mom got hit by a car. He took him in when the little squirrel was probably just a wee little baby. Couldn't take care of himself beyond that. Like that. Like, okay, so if this guy saw that, like, okay, here's this little baby squirrel and his mom got hit by a car, like he probably would have died shortly after, because it's like, probably didn't know how to take care of himself yet.
Yep.
He lived nice, long, fruitful 7 years till the government came knocking.
Like, what a good, okay, what a terrible use of our tax dollars. I say our, I'm Canadian, so it doesn't really count. But at the same time, like,
Close enough.
I mean,
we'll bring you in as like an honorary.
Honestly, my tax dollars have probably gone down there for something. But like, it's
Probably.
so dumb that they're like, oh, we're just going to release violent criminals out all the time. It's New York. Like, New York is not a safe area. I'm sorry. But like, when you're just letting people out all the time.
Like, he said that he moved to upstate New York. And I mean, New York is actually a bigger state than most people think. Like,
I know.
New York City sucks, but like, I mean, it's a decent sized state. Like, there's some mountainous and country areas in there,
But I know.
Still,
I've been on farms in New York.
It's still a very blue state.
It's still like, there's so many better things that you guys could have been doing with your time rather than like raiding this guy's house. And I don't know if this article specifically goes into it, but it was more than just that too. Like, they took this guy's house apart and like kept them separated him and his wife for like 5 hours, wouldn't let them use the bathroom and stuff like that. Like, it went even further. It's not just, hey, we want in here. It's, hey, we're like, it's lawfare. It's stupid.
Yeah.
So dumb. Anything about the city.
Yeah. And again, let's see if let me see if I can just find some of these some of the memes
One of my
Like,
favorite
one of them
ones
was
is the one
like-
I sent you. The
well, one of them, it
wife
was
one?
like John Wick like loading the gun, and it was like the
Yep.
entire internet when they see what happened to Peanut.
I was talking to my helper about this today. I'm like, have these guys not seen John Wick? Because they should really watch it and realize what they've done.
Okay,
Like the one meme I saw, it was some official, somebody saying, well, those animals were living illegally in the house. And somebody says, yeah, and so is half of New York City.
Yeah, really.
And okay,
That's a good
hello,
point.
San Diego. I'm like
Yep.
15 to 20 minutes away from the southern border. Like, you want to know how many people are living illegally in my city right now? Like,
Yeah, really.
How much money do you think they spent on this little operation? Several thousands, I'm sure.
Yeah, it wasn't one or two cops
and,
going.
like,
Sorry, go
absolutely
ahead.
completely unrelated total, like we don't have to do like a total change of subject. This can just be like a quick little blip. But as I pull up Instagram to find some of the memes I was talking about, this is too funny not to share. Rage Against the Machine to play at CIA fundraiser. It's a Babylon Bee. It's satire. It's satire. It's funny. It's whatever.
Oh, that's
but
good.
That's funny.
That's good.
I mean, they've basically become the Rage for the Machine. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's So let me see if I can find.
When I was a kid, we used to raise rabbits, and we had one rabbit who was really mean. So we wore welding gloves if we had to deal with her. Like, she'd claw through your hand if not. If you're supposedly some wildlife agent, you would think you'd come in with gear appropriate to the fact
the
you're going to
proper equipment. Yes.
So even if the squirrel did try to bite you because you grabbed it, it wouldn't hurt you. But no,
Right.
This person got bit and broke the skin, so now they got to kill everything in the house to test for rabies. I hope they do get rabies.
I cannot find what happened to those messages. They're gone.
Okay, my favorite one that I've seen so far was the one with the bulldozer in the background, and it just says, "Wife, you would die for a squirrel," and then it just says, "Someone has, or someone's going to."
Someone's going to.
Okay,
we do not condone violence, but that was hilarious.
I saw one as a squirrel driving a bulldozer, a killdozer. There was something about, reasons.
Yeah, honestly, there's just gonna be a killdozer with a giant squirrel painted on the front of it.
Big squirrel tail coming out.
They'll know. Technology has improved.
I wonder how many people have actually downloaded plans for that, and like, I can make mine better.
Yes, this one.
It's like, wife, you die for a squirrel, someone is.
Oh, I love that one so much.
Again, like, you talk about, like, okay, maybe he was keeping the squirrel illegally or whatever, but it's like, do we really want a government that has the time and the money and the effort and the resources to be like, you're gonna go on this massive manhunt for a squirrel when we have all these other problems plaguing our country right now? And then this one was my favorite. That the internet, after hearing what they did to Peanut the squirrel.
Yep.
Everybody who's seen even one or two of the John Wick movies, it's like, if you've seen the first one, like, they killed his dog, and like everything else after that is fully justified. They killed his dog.
100%.
Yep. They simply could have sent one person. Yes, gloves and a cage. Yes, exactly. And it just investigated it. Asked some questions. Okay, this is against the law. You got to release. Okay, you're going to release the raccoon. Okay, we'll give you a week. The squirrel, but no, they went. How many cops showed up? How much money did they spend?
I don't even know. A lot.
Tearing out.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a small operation.
Yeah. Well, they had to have people outside guarding the people from going inside. Obviously, there's one or two people for each one of them.
Yeah.
And then how many people go inside? It's a cluster. Just.
It's and again, it's crazy. It's the thing of like,
at least 6 officers were there.
Yeah.
If I were in the small area and I
found
out this is happening, like, you know what? Now's the time I'm going to rob that bank.
Yeah, right. Half the police force is taking out a squirrel. They don't have time for you.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rest of the half are probably too busy doing something else. So I've got to open it
There's
here.
another one I was going to try to look up. It's like I'm not going to take the effort to look up the meme, but the one where it's like there's another one I've been seeing circulating where it's like how did you become radicalized? And it's like, oh, and they spent 5 hours on a manhunt and a raid to euthanize a squirrel, but we still don't know who was on the Epstein client list. Like,
Yes.
how did you become radicalized? So
Here, I
yeah,
got it for you, buddy.
share it.
He's
Oh, I guess I can just do this. Can I? I don't know. I sent the link. Anyways, there you go. It's in private chat.
Sent where
Private chat.
Private chat. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Drag this over here. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, my computer does not like me.
Okay.
As long as my Wi-Fi keeps working. There we go.
Present.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you got something, you can hit like the present at the bottom, and I can just like pull that up, and then I'll just have to add it. But this
Fair
works
enough.
as well. How did you get radicalized? Yeah, watch the NYDEC murder a happy and healthy pet squirrel named Peanut for no reason other than some useless apparatus. Yeah, that had too much power.
professional government
And I
employee.
mean, look at him in his little cowboy hat. How
He's
could
so
you be mad at
cute.
this? How could you be mad at that?
And then the next one. Oh, if you you just click the little next button, perfect.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
And the next one. The next one's pretty good too.
Scroll down. See what
Social
it says.
media star Peanut the Squirrel has been euthanized after being seized by a New York home. Rescued pet government. Imagine the horror if we didn't intervene. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Really.
Also
Oh
good.
man.
Yeah. It's what else we got here? There's more. Honestly, can't believe New York Dems stole this man's squirrel and killed him. Look at him. Look at him.
He's so cute
Just
and
look at him.
cuddly.
Got him for 7 years. He was very docile and domesticated at this point. Like
the last one is just funny and kind of goes back to the point that we had.
New York Dems allow rats and trash everywhere, but they took the time to search warrants, raid this guy's house, took his pet squirrel and raccoon, and killed them. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's the fact that people signed off on this. We're like, this is a good use of our tax dollars and everything else. Like, yeah, no, you guys are absolutely justified in going and killing this guy's squirrel.
Yeah, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And like I said, this channel doesn't usually get like super political, but you got to admit, like, no matter which side of the fence you're on, this is pretty ridiculous. Like our use of tax dollars, our use of effort and force and everything, like really, like this was our top priority. This is what we had to go after.
Yeah.
Super fun. Super duper
it's like
fun.
PETA taking people's dogs and putting them down and then being like, oh whoops, we weren't supposed to do that. It's like, my dog's already dead, you can't. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
sorry.
Can't undo that.
Oh man, bureaucracy. This isn't a political thing. It's just bureaucracy in general is garbage and ruins everything.
Overreach of power. Yeah,
the government ruins everything. Both
They
sides.
They do.
Yeah, over it. Nothing else. It's just overreach of power, which super bums me out. That like one of my favorite TV shows for a long time was Parks and Rec, and the character of Ron Swanson. And don't get me wrong, I understand when an actor is playing a character, they are playing a character. That doesn't mean that the actor is the character, but it has really, really made me sad that Nick Offerman, who played Ron Swanson, one of the greatest characters in sitcom history, is such a shill for the left.
He's totally 100% opposite.
I'm like, your character that you played would be so disappointed in you.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's talk about some like weird, crazy AI glasses that can like
Oh my God.
identify random strangers. So I know, Blair, last week you said you were traveling, you were on the road. When I was recapping my experience of going to the David Gilmour concert at a very, very brand new venue in Los Angeles, where the LA Clippers basketball team, for those of you, I don't follow sport ball. Those of you that don't, I don't know.
Go teams.
Go team, go sport ball. So
fun.
this very, very new venue in Los Angeles, where the Los Angeles Clippers play, is where I saw David Gilmour, one of the members of Pink Floyd. Major bucket list item, checked it off the list. Boom, did it. They were utilizing facial recognition technology to both let people into the venue when you wanted to buy food, when you wanted to buy drinks, the whole thing. Like, you had to download the app, you had to set up your Face ID, you had to do,
Like
you had to do
China.
the whole thing.
China does that.
Yeah. And by the end of the night, I'm like, I feel kind of violated by all of this.
Now, would you pee? Did they
and
have to do a face app too to let you go to the bathroom?
there's a good possibility of that, because it's just
Take
like
a dick
it's
pic.
it was just those moments where, like, walking through the venue and seeing all the different things that had like cameras and screens and stuff, and I felt like I was in one of those futuristic dystopian movies where, like, as you're moving through the venue, that the cameras are like turning and are like following you and are like watching you and stuff. And super uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, the show is phenomenal. The David Gilmour was amazing. I'm so glad that I got to see him live. But now my face is in a database somewhere, and I don't like it. But at the day after, like next morning, I was like, went out, like, deleted the app, deleted my account and everything. It's probably too late. I'm already on a watch list somewhere just for going to a David Gilmour show.
You
and
were
now
on the watch list before.
And now for putting my face out here on YouTube, it's like, oh, well, you were at this David Gilmour show, and now you're putting out unpopular opinions on YouTube. Like, they're watching me. I know they're watching me. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm the dog in the burning house. Everything's fine. But this thing, this is not good. We're not heading in a good direction. I don't like this at all. I don't like. There are these new, like, meta glasses that people can wear, and when they're walking around, like, they look at you, and in a matter of seconds they can pull up all sorts of personal and private information about random strangers that they're looking at. Yeah, I know. I'm on YouTube. I get it. I know. I'm a willing participant here.
Mine was to
I'm a
Jacob,
willing
although I guess we don't
participant
see
here.
Jacob's face, but still, the point stands.
I'm a willing participant here. I get it, fine. But when you're just out in the world and just out in the wild, as we say sometimes, and somebody can just be wearing these glasses that I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna look at you, and all of a sudden I can pull up like all this information, all these details in your face within a matter of seconds. Shit's getting weird. It's getting real weird. I don't like it. So
I remember Google did this about a decade ago, and they got a lot of flack for it, and a lot of questions raised about, public spaces and all that. And now it seems not to be so much of a problem because, everybody records everybody in their cell phones now anyway. So,
yep.
But
yeah, I mean,
I wonder how much of these like glasses.
Things, but...
I wonder how much of these glasses are like recording as well. Maybe not like.
Oh,
directly,
it's
but
fed
like
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's going somewhere, and yeah.
And what's interesting is that, as far as we know, this is not backed by Elon Musk, who he's basically like public enemy number 2, because we know who public enemy number 1 is. But now everybody thought, oh, Elon Musk is this brilliant mind. He made electric cars. He made this. He made that. Whatever. And now everyone hates Elon Musk too. But it's like, he probably already came up with something like this, and he's just letting Google run with it, whereas he's like, hold my beer.
Well, yeah, this is going through Zuckerberg, right?
Oh,
for Meta.
Oh,
Meta's owned by Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah. So smart glasses can leverage facial recognition technology to instantly reveal private information. So to you guys that were just like, oh, you're on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, but putting my face out there can't necessarily leverage my private information.
Go back up to that. It's just like racially stereotyping right now.
Secret camera, glasses
On the
POV,
Asian
lets
guy,
you
of
identify
course.
anybody the glasses will detect.
No, I meant the fact that like it's showing. Anyways, it's just funny. They're like,
I mean,
oh yeah,
I
you
guess
got to
you
keep
could
that.
say at this point, I'm basically just a government psyop, and I'm not really real.
None of us are real. Birds aren't real.
None of
this
us are
this
real, especially
entire
not birds.
podcast is AI.
2 Harvard students recently showcased an unsettling demonstration of how easily personal data can be accessed using everyday technology by combining Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses with facial recognition software and publicly available databases. The duo illustrated just how swiftly anyone's identity, contact details, and even family connections could be revealed, instantly turning strangers into recognizable profiles. The project, known as Eye X-Ray, underscores the profound risks associated with advancements in AI and facial recognition technology. Before we interject here, can I just say the fact that it said the project known as, if the project has a name, it's already been in development for a long time, and that's not good.
Yes.
Yeah. So to go back to what I said in the chat earlier, because Jacob had said that he's going to invest in lifelike face masks. I've been seeing online people wearing full white masks to completely
Yes, you
hide their
did send me
face, and
that.
you can see and breathe through them. Did I send that to you?
You did, but it was so long ago, it would probably take
Oh
me a
yeah,
minute
it was
to
a
find
while.
it.
You're not going to find that.
Well, when I say a long time ago, I mean like within the last week, but because
It
we
was
send
like
each
3
other
days
memes all
ago,
day
but
long,
it's
it
gone.
would be hard to find.
So this
I
is
was-
YouTuber. His name is Bald and Bankrupt. He goes
Uh-huh.
to countries and travels around and does like travel logs. He just went to China for the first time from Vietnam. He crossed into China, and now he's taking the bullet trains around. You can't pay for anything in cash. You have to download an app,
Interesting.
get it
That's
slaved
terrible.
to your bank account, and when you go to buy stuff, it takes a picture of your face, so they can monitor you everywhere. You know, every transaction you do, wherever you travel, you have to show an ID and do the same thing too. So, like you were saying, when you're in that, sports place, it felt like you're being watched.
In the venue, yeah.
You're being tracked everywhere you went. Everything you
So
looked at, everything you bought is recorded.
Yeah, everywhere it was like, okay, like here's a spot where I can like grab some food. What do I do? And they're like, oh, did you do the app and the Face ID? They're like, yeah, like, oh, just walk in, grab whatever you want, walk out. We
That's
got
messed
you.
up.
Like, okay, cool. Okay, drinks. I want a beer. And say, oh yeah, just like look into the camera, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this one bit. I don't like this at all. Like,
Now that gets reported to your
now
doctor that you've been drinking. You know, so when you do the how many alcohol drinks you have in a week, 1 or 2. Well, according to so and so, you have 5 a night. You know,
1 or 2. I don't even have 1 or 2 in one night. There's a lot more than that, but we're not going to talk about that.
And it's only Monday.
yeah, right. Really,
Is it really only Monday?
I'm
It
afraid
is
your
only
alcohol
Monday.
ration is over for the week, John. Sorry.
Yep.
Damn it. This is already number 2 just since we started the stream.
I finished my scotch, and that's pretty much it. That's going to be the rest for me. I haven't drank since I think No, I didn't even have a whiskey last week.
Oh, you quitter. Yeah, you're drinking
know.
Pepsi. Oh, we weren't supposed to say that.
It
though.
was root beer type of beer.
Okay, I lost my screen. Where am I at? This one. That's the one. Okay, there we go. So, a startling experiment: facial recognition in action. Harvard students and okay, weird names. That I'm not going to try to pronounce. I'm not going to try to pronounce those names. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Demonstrated the Eye X-ray project using Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses, a device with built-in live streaming capabilities. Okay, now we're really diving in deep here. This isn't even just pulling up people's information. Built-in live streaming. So this shit is like recording like as you're just walking around.
I'm sure it doesn't upload when it gets near something, and
yeah. And an AI-backed program. Can I just say, can I just say, like, all this stuff with AI, like, have we learned nothing from all the old action sci-fi movies from the
Terminator.
80s and 90s? Like,
Apparently
from
not.
the Terminator franchise to
iRobot.
iRobot to like, have we learned nothing?
Nope.
AI.
It'll be such a
Everything's all AI
surprise.
now.
It's like
It'll be
communism, John. It just has never been done correctly.
That's right.
Never been done correctly.
People are amateurs. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna name it
Oh, my
Skynet,
Lord.
and everything will be fine.
Where's John Connor when you need him?
I really hope
Like-
the Skynet is not. I hope it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? Copyrighted or
Real?
trademarked. And I hope someone is like, you know what? I'm going for it. And then they just name their company Skynet. And it's like, what could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? This will be fine. Everything's fine. This is fine. The dog in the burning house. This is fine. Everything's fine. An AI-backed program designed to identify faces in real time by simply pointing the glasses at someone. The software identifies them and pulls information like name, address, phone number, and familial links from public databases. No. Your
Your 23andMe post gets up there too, and they're like, "Oh, they're related to
like,
this
you know,
guy."
I'm fine. Like, yeah, I'm putting my face out here on YouTube and everything, but that like information, like name, address, phone number, and family link, like you don't know that stuff for me just putting my face on YouTube. Like that is so because you guys are all putting your face out here too. So joke's on you.
This isn't my real face.
Yeah.
You know, like turn all
AI
your lights
generated.
off and just go into the darkness again.
Go back into silhouettes.
Back into the silhouettes. Missteps in facial recognition and the human cost. The controversy surrounding facial recognition is not new. In one notable case, Detroit police misidentified Robert Williams, wrongfully arresting him for shoplifting based on faulty facial recognition data. The incident led to a $300,000 settlement for Williams, highlighting the real-world repercussions of misidentifications in facial recognition software. Yet, recent strides in the technology have increased in accuracy, as showcased by the iX-ray, which merely combines pre-existing tools into a powerful example of privacy invasion. There you have it.
Okay, so a couple things to unpack there. First of all, $300,000. So to Robert Williams, I mean, good on you. But like, how much of our tax dollars goes to just wasting for settlements because of wrongful arrests? Like,
Or
that's
like killing
completely
squirrels.
different. Yeah. Oh, stop it. Okay, we move past this. I'm not crying anymore. But then, like this, I'm going to like, I don't know, argue for the other side. For where it says pre-existing tools into a powerful example of privacy invasion. In public, you technically do not have the assumption of privacy.
Right.
But the
Fair.
fact that
Fair
someone
point.
can just like pull up everything on you instantly, that really I mean, I don't know where I stand on that one.
That's
Because
not
you
Well, I
don't
mean,
have
you live
the-
in Canada, so I mean, you know.
I mean, I'm being filmed right now probably by the government. Hopefully my agent that watches me likes me, but like still.
Well, even if a police officer goes up to you and asks you questions, you have the right to remain silent.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
If they put their glasses on and look at you, all of a sudden they can pull up everything they want. You know.
Yeah.
And that's
I
even if
mean-
they get the right person. If they get the wrong person, then what are they going to do? Start
They'll
denying
arrest you and
service?
then pay you
Yeah.
$300,000.
Yeah. Or you go in to
Apparently.
buy something and they go, "No, you're a criminal. We want you out of here." And it turns out they got you mixed up with somebody else because the thing made a mistake. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be some lawsuits.
Shut
out of
up,
this.
Jacob.
Well, yeah, because yeah, if you have those glasses, you won't get people's pronouns.
Oh, that's true.
Uh,
But yeah, so Devon, you just sent me something recently where it was like a somebody who looked young. We don't really know we don't really know how old or young they were because in the video they weren't answering questions. But yeah, this young guy that looked like he was probably like late teens, early 20s, walking down the street, and cops are like, "Hey, like, oh, stop, we want to ask you some questions," and he's like, "I'm not going to answer any questions." And like, "How old are you?" And he went like long story short, they detain the guy, and he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. But they're like, oh, you wouldn't answer any questions. It's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong, so I wasn't required to answer any questions, and blah 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 blah.
You have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion, and they had nothing other than he wouldn't give them their name, which is not reasonable.
Right. It's not a reasonable search and seizure at that point, as long as his name is an Agent Smith. Yeah. No, we're all very much in the Matrix at this point.
The dead internet theory.
Dead internet theory.
You've never heard that theory?
Are we talking about the Matrix or something real?
Oh no, no. Just the fact that the dead internet theory is that the internet stopped. I guess, like, I can't remember, a long time ago, and that's why like the majority of the internet is just bots at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's probably accurate.
I don't actually subscribe to that one. That one's obviously a stretch, but
I haven't heard that.
I can read it. One sec. The internet theory, or dead internet theory, is an online conspiracy theory that asserts that due to coordinated an international effort, the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content manipulated by algorithmic curation to control the population and minimize organic human activity. Proponents of the theory believe that these social bots were created intentionally to help manipulate algorithms and to boost search results in order to manipulate consumers. Okay, so like, to a point, I think this is probably true. Like, not to that level, but we know that there are bots online that will do that, or people will run multiple accounts,
bot farms,
and like review bomb stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the majority, but I think it happens.
Yeah, I don't think it's the majority. Have you seen people? I mean, everybody's got a cell phone staring at it. So.
Oh yeah, all day long, all day, every day.
Yep.
You love it. You're never bored again. You always just pull something out and look at it, or watch or play, or.
I mean, like, okay, so I was just at Disneyland yesterday, and it's always interesting to see. So when you're out in a public space, your phone's battery life is like precious battery life, right? Like unless you bring your own portable chargers, which some people do, whatever, like you're out in a space for a certain amount of time. But you get in line for a ride and you look around and everybody is either on their phone individually like this, or the more common one that I see is the families where they're playing this game where it's like they hold the phone. Yep, Devon's got it. You hold the phone up to your head and it has a word on the screen, and everyone else around you has to like give you hints without saying the word, and you get the thing and whatever. It's like, what they're doing is they're trying to get you to drain your phone battery so that you will go and buy one of their like portable disposable battery bank things that like plugs it in. It doesn't really charge your phone all that fast, but you're supposed to be able to exchange them and whatever. And so everybody's just
pull your data off your phone real quick, and
that too. That too.
Blair's on
but just the thing of like, you are constantly draining your battery so that they can be like, oh, here, like buy this thing that will like recharge your phone. I mean, if you bring your own,
we got our own.
If you bring your own rechargeable batteries, fine. But like inside the parks, they sell these things, and it's like these little things are like the size of maybe a AA battery, and it's like, oh, here, plug this thing into your phone. It's like, that's not going to recharge your phone. If you're down at like 15%, it's not going to recharge it. But
how much?
It's a way that they can sell it and make more money. And yeah,
they're probably like $30 or something stupid.
Yeah, they probably gouge
and they
say
not, but like you're supposed to be able to swap them out for free, but the kiosks where you can do that are very few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
So you're better off just bringing your own whatever. Yeah, but everything is just like, everybody keep your nose in your phone. Just do this, just whatever. Like, yeah, it's really fascinating to watch. But
it's funny how I knew exactly what it was you were going to say, though, as far as like, oh, everyone or the families and stuff, and I already knew because, well,
the game with the thing.
I don't remember the name of it, but I've played it.
Yeah, but everybody like look, you get in line for a ride and you look around like everybody else is playing that game and it's like, bro, you were literally just like draining the battery on your phone. It's wild,
Yeah.
but that's how they make more money. So let's see, what do we got? We got like 10 minutes left. I talked about this one. This one could be fun, but I don't know if we really care because none of us are really big sports fans. Dodgers fan blows up hand with firework in downtown LA.
I saw
but
that.
I am a redneck.
So I had a couple things that I thought would have been really funny to talk about. Because me, like, I don't really follow sports. I don't care that much about sports. And recent weeks, as you know, in Southern California, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. And actually, when I went up to the Los Angeles area to see David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, I was finding myself in the traffic for Game 1 of the World Series with the Dodgers playing. And it was a whole other nightmare. It's a whole other thing we don't need to talk about, whatever. When the game was over and done, and okay, Game 5, Game 6, whatever it was, the Dodgers won. Proof that Los Angeles is literally one of many armpits of California. I think it's like Los Angeles and San Francisco are the armpits of California. This was one story that I pulled up where it said Dodgers fan blows off hand with firework in downtown LA. Another one that I could not find because I only saw it on Instagram. I couldn't find like an actual article of it. Was again another Dodgers fan in Dodgers gear supporting Los Angeles Dodgers was passed out, face down, unconscious, and bleeding. And the other Dodgers fans were like rifling through his pockets and like going through his personal effects. I was trying to find that because it's like this is how shitty Los Angeles is. It's like this guy is wearing the same gear for your team. Like, yay, the Dodgers won the World Series, but this guy's literally like face down, unconscious, and bleeding. But you're still gonna rifle through his pockets and be like, "Oh, what can we find off of this guy?"
Fallout
but this
or
one,
loot the dead
this
bodies.
one is that the Dodgers fan blows up hand with firework in downtown LA. It was just like, just the chef's kiss, like the cherry on top of like. How much worse can Los Angeles? how much worse can Los Angeles possibly get? Like, I hate LA so much. And I just live just slightly south of it. Let's see what
he blew it off too. It's all blurred out, but you can see
bloody.
Fingers
and
gone
like
and
fingers not in place.
Right. Or they had to go look and find his fingers. They could find him over there, just like gone, obliterated.
So, okay, I'm just gonna like semi change the subject for like half a second. It's related, but how many times do you turn on like Instagram or Twitter and you're just like instantly like, oh, that guy just got his hand cut off, like, or like, oh, that guy lit himself. I've seen way too many. No, stop this. I don't want to see that.
Oh, there used to be,
hurts me.
Back in the early 2000s, there were rotten.com and a few other websites that specialize in that kind of thing.
No,
they were the best.
I've seen some and I don't like it. Nope. I'm good.
Just real quick, guys. Jacob, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Have a good time on Cannoli Show. And
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli.
We'll catch up with you next time. Holy cannoli. Yeah. So yeah, thanks again. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hope you have a good time over on his show.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
No, that's all I had to say. I don't like watching people like blow themselves up or whatever, or like with the war
but
in
if
Ukraine,
it's people
like
from Los Angeles,
video.
I think
that's fair.
if it's people from LA, I think it's hilarious because
the crowd a little bit,
It's you try.
Good. That World Series celebration in Los Angeles took a horrifying turn when a Dodgers fan blew off his hand while lighting a firework. We do want to warn you, the following video is disturbing.
Yes, it is.
He has
no way. Know when to throw it.
Ah!
So this incident happened in downtown shortly after the
hurts
Dodgers'
me.
victory over the Yankees. The man wearing a Clayton Kershaw jersey seen in cell phone video lighting a firework that detonated in his hand. Bystanders
Look at
rushed
that.
So basically what happened was he didn't know when was the appropriate time to throw it.
I don't think he realized it was lit either.
It was like this much of a wick. It's like,
Yep.
no. Like,
Nope.
throw it, run.
Although those wicks go stinging quick. I remember like I lit one once.
Once you start seeing sparks, you need to throw it. Like,
Yeah.
see, okay,
Yeah.
this is what happens in Southern California where fireworks are illegal and people in Southern California don't know how to light off fireworks and throw them in an appropriate amount of time.
Yeah, you need to learn the hard way like we did.
Blow off your fingers, blow off your head. Well, that guy did apparently.
Yeah, he
But
learned.
it's still- it's
Imagine
like
going into the
fireworks,
hospital
like-
too.
Like fireworks and firecrackers and stuff are still very much illegal in Southern California because it's so dry here and it's so everything.
That's
but it's like,
fair.
that's what happens. That's what
Unlike
happens.
handguns, huh? Okay, I see.
No, they're working on that one too. They're trying to take those away too.
So that poor guy had to go into the hospital, and they're like, "How did you do this?" And he's like, "I was doing illegal things, and I blew up my hand." Also, we got it on video if you'd like to see.
And then the thing is, like, he's in stable condition with life-altering injuries. Yeah, pull his hand off. Of course, he's gonna have life-altering.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's not a good time. It's not a good
That
time.
did not look like a small, like little whatever it was, firecracker.
Like a
that
cherry bomb.
Like that one was big.
What's that? M6 MAD? One of those.
I mean, like I said, like it took off a majority of the guy's hand. Like you said, they had to blur it out. It was so bad they couldn't show it on regular news because he probably lost some fingers. It's not good. It's not a good time. It's not a good time.
Don't do drugs and don't do bombs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
The poor man ain't gonna masturbate now. He's dead.
Well, maybe that was his left hand. I don't know.
He put a disability claim in.
No, man.
So I talked briefly about this one, I think on Wednesday. The drummer from Primus abruptly exiting the band, and more details have come to light, which funny enough, I also just for the first time in I don't even know how long made a video where I had to like record it and edit it and do the whole thing about As I Lay Dying. And as the dude says from The Big Lebowski, more shit has come to light. So at this point, I'm just gonna talk about it on Wednesday because we already had quite a few topics to talk about today. So we'll talk more about As I Lay Dying on Wednesday. But Tim Alexander from Primus, we can talk a little bit about him because I had it prepped and was I was prepared for this. Former Primus drummer Tim Herb Alexander has given a detailed written explanation for his decision to abruptly quit the band last month during their busiest season of touring and all sorts of other fun stuff coming up. Primus announced in October that Alexander, who was 59 years old, had quit the band via email, which, what a coward to be like, I've been with you guys for however many years. I'm going to quit via email. Like, not a phone call, not a text message. Come on, bro.
I mean, even if it hasn't been years, like, have the decency. If you don't live in the same city or whatever, like, call, but, like, at least if you can, face to face, be like, hey, man, I just can't do this anymore.
It's pretty cowardly, though, the way he did it, no matter what, like through email. And even when they tried to reach out to him to email, he only emailed back. And it's like, you've been in this band since the late 80s. You can't call, you can't text, you can't be like, hey, let's hang out, let's talk. Like, it's,
sad.
So he originally said he had lost his passion for playing. Go ahead, Blair.
He might just be so done with them that's all you deserve from me is,
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. What do you want? A big group hug and a cry. It's like, no.
Yes.
He says he was in a dark place emotionally and that he desperately missed his family while on tour and felt very lonely. So I can imagine, okay, when you're 59 years old, you get a little bit older, maybe you don't want to be on the road as much. He adds, over the past months, I've been in a place of deep healing and intensive mental health rehabilitation, learning to confront struggles I've carried for years. In this period of solitude, I've started to see with new clarity what no longer serves me, the people and situations that do not support my well being, and the parts of my life I need to let go of to find peace and stability.
Hence the email.
Um,
So pretty much
that's
all
the
that.
email. Yeah.
The
That's
suffering
where-
was writing the email.
Yeah.
Alexander underwent open heart surgery in 2014 after suffering a heart attack, but eventually recovered and returned to Primus. In his latest statement, he says he still feels the impact of the surgery. When I first joined Primus, I was 24 years old. I'm almost 60 now, and I'm not just a drummer, but also a husband and a dad. Being a drummer for almost 4 decades has taken its toll on my body. As I said previously, my body hurts, my hands hurt, my back hurts. 10 years ago, I had open heart surgery, and I'm still dealing with the aftermath. For so many years of my life, I slept, breathed, and lived the music, giving it everything I had, and often at the expense of both my physical and mental health. Drumming is a strenuous profession, and coupled with touring and performing it can be exhausting on every level. But I love drumming and always will, even though he just said he lost his passion for playing. But let's move along. Just as I will always hold so much love and appreciation for our fans, the music we made, and the places we went, and everything I learned along the way. My decision to leave the band was rooted in a deep need to prioritize my mental health and physical health. He sounds like someone in his early 20s, but we'll move on from that. I want to give my family the presence and energy they deserve and take care of myself in a way that allows me to thrive. Announcing Alexander's departure, Primus said, as far as future Primus, the band is looking forward to performing in the Dominican Republic with Tool and others. Danny Carey has once again graciously offered to fill the drum throne for Sasanta. Primus plans on searching for the greatest drummer on earth. So, really, overall, at the end of it, when he cites his family, who is anyone else to say anything other than he wants to spend more time with his family? Some of this other stuff that he's saying about prioritizing mental health, physical health, I want to give my family presents, this, that, and the other. I don't know. But from a very outside perspective, as soon as someone cites family, it's like, okay, we need to, that is something that I feel needs to be respected.
I say good on
100%.
him. If he,
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't want to. I hurt all the time. I want to be with my family now that I'm older.
Right.
I'm
Yep.
done.
Me too, man. Me too. And I'm not even 60 yet. I mean, that's just how much worse.
You're
the
not even
grades are.
30. Get out of here.
But so to me, all of this would have been way more respectable if he would have been a man and not quit via email. I mean,
Yeah.
all of his reasons are valid. Like, why would you?
100%. Yeah.
What are you hiding for? And it's not that he's necessarily hiding, but like, I
Or
don't
that
know.
if you do
No,
an email, but then why are you going to do like a big long press release to Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You would have been like just no comment, or I gave my reasons, goodbye.
Yeah. And that's what he even said is like he basically gave his resignation via email, and when whoever, whether it was Les Claypool and friends or management, tried to reach back out to him to email to be like, hey, like, can we get a little more details, what's going on, he only reached back out in email, to where it's like, you joined this band in the late 80s and to the other members of the band, you couldn't call them on the phone first, you couldn't send them a text message first, you could like you guys said, both of you, like, his reasons are valid. He's like, I want to spend more time with my family. Nobody would argue with that. No one's
You're
mad
60.
at that.
You've worked hard. Go for it.
You want to
You're
spend more time with your family. I get it.
Degrading. You may not be able to, like U2's drummer. He had shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to play a lot of the dates in the eye because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, you're saying like this is taking a toll on me both mentally and physically, fine, but the the way that he quit and the way that like they tried to reach out to him and he just basically came back and was like, like here's another email, like you didn't want to like maybe try to sit down in the same room with the guys, you didn't want to
Yeah.
maybe like try to talk to them on the phone, you didn't like it still seems like a little bit of a kind of a for lack of a better term, I'd say like a little bit of a cowardly way to
Could be
leave. And as Primus came back and they said it's like we totally respect his decision and we're gonna move forward and we're gonna whatever. And it's like we
Yeah.
understand everything he's saying and why he wants to leave, but it's just like you're gonna quit via email after 40 years, 35 years, like
36.
it could
It's
be
like
if they're
you've-
getting ready for a big overseas tour, they may all be in different cities, as you said. They may not
Yeah.
have been able to convene a little band meeting if it
Yeah.
was too late. 'Cause
yeah.
they have to
So-
get a new player, so he may have been like, okay, I got to
Yeah.
let them know that I'm not going to be,
But
available.
call even. Like I
That's
still
true,
feel
yeah.
like calling is still more respectful than like
because
I
they've
don't
been
know.
doing so this summer they were doing some shows with Coheed and Cambria and some other stuff, and then it's not until I think like next spring they're doing the Santa thing with A Perfect Circle and Pussifer, and then in I think May they're doing the like Tool Meets the Sand thing where it's this like big 3-day festival in the Dominican
That'd be
Republic and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting when people reach a certain age and they leave a band and you understand and you realize that it's like, okay, yeah, like you had heart surgery, you're older, you want to stay home, your body hurts, whatever.
You've made your
But
money.
when you have been in a band for X amount of years, it's kind of like you're gonna quit via email. Like that's the way you're gonna go out. Yeah,
I
but
can see that.
yeah. I don't know. Well, we have crossed our hour mark. I guess Roman is not joining us.
Hey Roman, we're gonna start like smack talking him, and he's gonna pop into chat like he
Then
usually
we're
does.
done.
Wait,
He
we haven't
usually
tried saying
does.
his name 3 times.
Every time I start talking shit about Roman, all of a sudden he's like, "I'm here, motherfuckers," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, you were really quiet in the chat up to this point, but
Roman of the Empire. Roman of the Empire. Roman of the Empire. Nothing.
Wait,
He's
is that
not here. All right,
Beetlejuice or
that's right.
Candyman?
Yes.
The Candyman was you had to say it 5 times, right? No,
Oh, I was
Beetlejuice
going for
3 times.
Beetlejuice, I think.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, Roman be damned.
Yep.
Thank
Screw
you
that
guys
guy.
for hopping on here and joining me. Like I said, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it. Anyone who is still hanging out in the chat while we're doing our goodbyes, feel free to give us a good night so I know you're still here and I know who to say goodbye to. But you're still here. I know you're still here, Devon. Good Lord. Oh man. How's the rest of your week looking, buddy? Gonna be back up in that attic tomorrow?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a couple days and stuff. Yeah, the roof was kind of sketchy as well, so I'm glad I got the roof stuff done before the snow comes tomorrow. But it's so dirty and gross up there, and it was such
That'll
a
be
pain.
fun.
Literally a pain.
That'll be fun, especially when it starts snowing and then you get a whole
The
other
joys. Yeah.
Blair, what do you got going on this week, buddy?
Looks like I'm going to be on Zach's channel this Wednesday.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
Zach. The other Canuck.
Yeah, right.
The other Canuck.
And then, of course, we'll be, breathlessly waiting the results of the election too on Wednesday. So I've already voted and got it over with last week or so.
I've been kind of saying the same thing where it's like I'm on the fence about just coming home from work tomorrow and like going live for at least a little bit, because even like right when I get home from work, there's not going to be any really definitive results or answers. But I was like,
I don't think we're going to know for a week or two.
Oh God, yeah, it might be kind of fun to like come home and just talk about the movie Idiocracy, which I usually watch on election night. I almost always watch Idiocracy on election night, and it's becoming
so
more and more
accurate.
true.
And sitting horror
But yeah,
become more real and real.
I'm kind of at that same point where it's like same thing. It's like I've cast my vote. It's in God's hands at this point, and I'm just like I want to hibernate until Wednesday morning. We shall see. I might hop on tomorrow after work. I might not. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to watch it in real time. I kind of
it's gonna be crazy.
Like,
I'll probably be paying attention. So yeah,
it's not good. It's no early
Canadians are gonna run to the border, start building a wall.
Canadians be like, don't come up
Legos.
Here. Yeah, all the other people can run into Canada. You know it's gonna happen.
Oh,
keep them out.
We don't want them either. I mean, so I'm getting my eyes checked.
That's all right. We don't
want
you guys down here either.
That's true. I'm getting my eyes checked Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm going to get glasses or Civil War, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, right. Really.
I might not make it if I can't get glasses, so we'll see.
Yeah, well. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. So good to see you, both of you. Thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your Monday, and everyone else in the chat for hanging out, which I didn't even say goodbye. We got Lady Marine, The Real Steven TV, Jacob Ironside. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out. I will be back here at the very least on Wednesday for after work beers. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. I'm still on the fence, but enjoy the rest of your Monday night and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys next time.
Peanut.
Justice for Peanut.
And Fred.
And Fred.
And Fred.
Be excellent to each other.
This has been Late to the Party News. Make sure to like and share this video for others to see. Subscribe to the channel and set notifications to all so you get notified every time we go live or post a new video. Thanks and good night.